friends, and welcome back to my channel today. Happy Friday. It's almost Christmas. Yay! So if you'll recall, in Wednesday's video I started going through this journal that I had purchased and making notes about all of the different techniques and things that I appreciated in it. Well, we got most of the way through. We stopped right about here, I think. And so today I'm going to finish kind of going through it, but instead of making you painfully watch me write, I actually already wrote. So this is where we stopped, I think. So I'm just going to go through and point out the things that I think were most interesting, and then we'll start working on organizing my binder, because I have a couple different thoughts on ways to do that, okay? So why don't you guys go ahead and get yourselves settled, get yourselves comfy, or get crafty. When you return, we will start working on these together. So did anyone get value out of the last video? I got quite a lot of views, like in one day I got over 200. So I guess that means it's an idea that people are interested in. However, the retention, the viewing average duration of view is only like 10 minutes, and it's a 40-minute video. So I don't know if people just got tired of watching me write or just what. But anyway, I went ahead and finished the writing part. But there are some other clever things that Pam did in this journal, and I wanted to point out, so I won't point out everything. I did go back and watch her video, so I hope that you guys, if you had a chance to watch her video where she did the flip through of these, she made two, so she did the flip through of these journals, and she pointed out some things that I'm not going to point out today. One thing I did want to mention, and that I like to remember to do, is when your pages are old and maybe fragile along the edge, is to reinforce it some way. So you can use paper like she did, washi tape, fabric, like the bias tape from fabric, anything, other strips of paper, anything like that, ruffle, that kind of thing. Now over here, she made a booklet from all kinds of papers, and that reminds me, I was also going to show you today how to do one of these booklets if you don't want to sew. So, because not everybody wants to sew for various reasons, but there are lots of different ways to put these kinds of little booklets together, and the stitching is fun, but you don't have to do that. There's my instructions for how to do one signature journal, just a nice way to organize the papers and what to select for it. And that was from a video that Pam did as well. Now this piece right here that I wanted to show you, this is interesting because she has this cutout here, and this is actually one of the reasons I bought this journal, was because I like the way she did this. But this is a card. Okay, and it's actually straddling or glued to a page, and I'm trying to find the other half of it. It's this page right here. And what she did was she just took a card, pretend like this is a card, and she just took the page and glued it down on either side. Okay, but when she glued it down, she made a cutout here. I don't know if you used a die or how you got that shape there, but it made a window on the back side of the card. This is all glued. This is all one piece, so she didn't cut it here and splice it. But anyway, it made a window pocket so that she could tuck in the tag this way. And then behind there is the texturizing that she did on the inside of the card. She used a stamp to get the texture. This was a printable, which I may steal for another journal down the road, but we'll see. And then you can also tuck your tags in this way. So you have kind of a two-directional pocket. So these are my instructions here. But I just wanted to point that out because that's a clever way to incorporate texture and interest and use different things. This was a vintage letter, and it has the original letter inside, and it was written from someone to a friend, it looks like. This is World War II, so during World War II, so it's 1943. And then I just pointed out using interesting pages like music and all of that, like we love to do. This was a diet log. Oh, it's not that page. Wait, which page is it then that you hold it? I guess I was very mixed up on which page you used. It's after the music. Oh, it's this. So this is a piece of scrapbook paper then. So she just straddled it and used the card on this side and did it like that. Now I could be way off base. Maybe I'm lying. Pam, I might be wrong, but I think that's how you did that. Let's see, what else did she do in here that I really liked? I like the use of, you know, layering silk leaves and flowers and petals and things. That's always nice. Then this was a printable of a postcard, so it has the writing on it, and then she just backed with some coffee dyed paper there. Torn edges. I'm very fond of the torn edges, although I forget to use them, so pointed that out for myself. And then here's another one of her flip outs. She used a tag this time. Oh, and thank you to the person who said you enjoyed my handwriting. Thank you. I was kind of writing in a hurry, so it's a mix of like cursive and printing, but it's my fast handwriting. On this one, this was an envelope that matches the stationery page that she used, and since it was a little bit long, she just trimmed it down to fit the page. So that's another thing you can do, just cut things down to fit how you want them to. And then I'll show you, and there's another spot where she cut down an envelope, or yeah, an envelope to make it fit, and it's just, you know, it's a super simple way to do it, but we kind of forget. Then the little flip outs that are also pockets. Another tip in right here. And then she just clipped something behind it with the paper clip. And another technique is cutting the images. You've seen me do this too, cutting the images off of book pages and then using them to embellish pages. And this was a tally card. It's so cute. And then again, another example of a torn edge on her journal card. I don't want to over-explain, but also if any of you are new, it's very interesting, you know, to see the construction and to think of all the different ways that you can just put pieces of paper together and make a usable book. This is the other pocket. So this is like an inner office mailing envelope or maybe a cash envelope or something, and she just cut it down to fit the page. And when she made two of these journals, I imagined the other half of this envelope was in the other journal. So that's all she did, just lopped it off at the top to fit the page, put in a thumb notch, end of it. And then inside there was a big journal card, and this is where I tucked my receipt too, so I can always keep track of how much it was. Another fabric ruffle. So that was just a great way to explain and keep reference for myself of the different techniques. I did go back and add some other notes in from what I showed you on camera as well, including the fact that it tied with a fabric tie. So there's that one. Now I'm going to show you how to make a booklet if you don't want to sew across the top. And I will be right back for that because I forgot to get my materials. Okay, I'm back. I gathered just some random scraps of paper just with all kinds of examples of what you could put in this little scrappy booklet. If you want it just for writing space, use lined pages or blank pages. And if you want to have it a little more decorative, you can use notepad pages, which is where the lined notepads are really handy. Printed scrapbook papers and the like. So I just gathered up a bunch of stuff. So you just kind of want to make sure that it fits whatever space you have on your page. And I'm just going to assemble this real quick so I can put one in my idea book. And you generally, you know, you're just using up scraps. So I'm trying to create some scraps here. So let's add this. This is just kind of a fun and interesting way. And you could even hang it, since the straight edge is at the top, you could hang it down so that it goes like that. This was just random piece of paper from packing material. If they're long, you can fold them in half like this and make them fit, you know, just kind of collect them up, or if you have single layers, just layer them all together. So I want to make it, since this is an example one, I want to make it kind of pretty. It's just the way I roll. Here's Tom's vocal book. Let's say we only have one scrap of that. And again, you're just gonna slap a bunch of these pieces together. I want this to be narrower. And you can fold them at interesting lengths. Nick the Booksmith, one of our forerunners of junk journaling, not really a forerunner, but she was one of the earlier people to get us all hooked on this craft, and she's still making. She just released a video not that long ago that I'm gonna go watch. But she came up with this idea of scrappy booklets, and hers are, of course, are much more artistic looking than mine. But if you don't want to sew across the top, just staple. And voila, just slide it into your pocket, or clip it onto a page or whatever. And then the idea is that they're either pages that you can write on to take extra notes, or that you can use to decorate your pages. Okay, so it's that simple. I brought this scrap over because sometimes if you want it to be a little more decorative, you can take washi tape and tape it across here. Or what I like to do, if I had stapled it from back to front, I like to cover these staples so that I don't get hurt, or whoever gets the journal doesn't get hurt. But another way you can do that is to staple these together and glue them. Just fold your paper over and glue it, or just fold the paper over and trim it. Let's trim this one down. So it's kind of like a little booklet cover. And then again, you would just staple. And from there, you can decorate. If you want to decorate it, you can. So it's that simple. So thanks for asking the question, my pal. Yeah, so there's all kinds of ways that you can do this, or if you really want to, you can just glue each layer, but I think it might make it hard to tear out the pieces when you do that. Okay, now I have a mess to clean up. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So now we have an example to put in our idea book right off the bat. Oh, that was easy. I had this in with my tag back, so I think I'm just gonna leave that as a tag back. And I forgot to put this one in completely. But anyway, you can use all kinds of scraps, as you can see. So let's get to working on this. Originally, I had thought I might make this pretty recipe binder into a journal, but then I thought, you know, I really like the pretty pattern on the front, so let's turn it into an idea book. Then I took the pages and measured so that I could cut all these pages, and you're probably glad I did. So I just used some of my favorite pages, preferably two-sided. Here are some notes I started taking on Kathleen Mauer's tag templates. I haven't gotten through all of them. I was drawing this so that, you know, I was outlining the tag shape so I can go in and write the examples or draw the examples onto these tags like I did here. I started backwards and I'm working to the front, so I haven't watched them all yet, but she's got a series out there on quick and simple, easy tags to do. So I've got that. Now this book came with examples and flips and flaps and places to put your recipes. So I just left them in there for now, but it also came with these pockets. And what I am thinking is that I want to divide this up into sections. There are a lot of these where I can put examples of journal cards or what have you. The way my brain works is that I want to have the place, you know, like this, where I assemble all these ideas, but then I want to be able to reference if I'm say, oh, I need a tag idea or a pocket idea or a journal card idea or whatever, I want to be able to find it fast. And so that's why I decided to do a binder, was so then I could divide it up and have sections, and then when I'm just looking for tags or just looking for pockets, that kind of thing, embellishments, I could find them quickly and easily. So that's just the way I was thinking. These are some scraps, I think, from another project. They're a little bit shorter, so I just shoved them in there just in case they could work. So let's go through my basket and see what we've got and divide into these sections and then figure out how we want to, just kind of a little more of an arrangement. So obviously these are tag templates, so I'm gonna go through here and put them in the section marked tags. I'm sure I'll end up with more sections. And just the other day I was thinking maybe a Christmas book would be fun. So maybe it would. Maybe I'll end up doing another one, but I'll need another binder, I think. Okay, so I've got tags, pockets, journal cards. I need one for just basic ephemera. So I'm gonna make a heading for that because, sure I am, because I can't find my pencil. I cleaned up yesterday. I cleaned up and then I worked over on my other desk here in my room. But I want to make one for ephemera because things like this are neither a tag nor a pocket nor a journal card. So it's definitely ephemera of a different sort. So it has its own category. And for now, we'll just make this a divider. I'm going to set that there, and then I can make myself a pocket page out of scrapbook paper that looks like these. So that's why I really like this, because it does have the pockets. So if there's if there are items that I don't want to clip to a page or glue to a page, I can just tuck them into the pockets. Okay, so that's ephemera. Then I have this whole thing when I was first starting. Sometimes, you know, the people do their different series of how to make things out of a book page or whatever. This was in this journal. Oops. This was in this journal here as an extra booklet. So I liked it. I like that they used the paper sack. So again, a booklet is another example. This is a different booklet than this booklet, and it's from a paper sack. So it's another example of ephemera that doesn't fit one of these categories. So what I had done was just gone through and done a bunch of mock-ups and followed different people's tutorials. Okay, so pockets. This is a pocket. This is a pocket. Oh, I got fuzzies hanging off of there. This is one, oh, I think I have it in my book because it's torn. And also I didn't do it very well. My edges aren't, this is better. The edges are more even. This is a Crafty Irina pocket. This is something I made a while ago when I was first getting back into scrapbooking and stuff after I left the workforce. I happened to actually like this one. It's a little detailed and it's more of a scrapbook idea. So that's an embellishment. This was my first giveaway. She sent this as part of her entry. This is from Tammy, and she made this cute booklet, which is something I still want to try. So that's going in there. Here's one of my clusters. It needs a flower or something. That's an embellishment. Here's a different kind of cluster. It's actually kind of cute. I mean, I made this a few years ago. Here's another one. I guess I have different examples. So I have a stamped one, fabric, lace, and all fabric. So I just have different examples of clusters. This is a pocket with a doily. Let's see. I'm going to move this book out of the way. It'll be easier to group Okay, this was, oh, this is from Triple V Vintage in an Order, but I like the way she did the little tag. That's why I liked that. So that's a tag. Pockets. Now here are my mock-ups. So these are made from envelopes, and Pam at the Paper Outpost and Gail Augustinelli both have playlists. Hermelinda Aguilar, great resource for book pages, but you can just search for those kinds of things. You know, pocket made from envelope, or number 10 envelope pockets ideas. So these are the mock-ups, so they're just white. But what I think I want to do eventually is have an example of each one made from paper, so that it gives me a little more inspiration when I see it, you know. And these little pieces of paper are just showing where all the tuck spots are on that one. Here's another kind. See, I got started, but then I never actually made any examples. So I have tons of these envelopes from my husband's old job, and I've got a whole drawer full, so I've got lots of ways to make pockets. And then these are pockets made from book pages. So as you can see, there are a variety. So what I need to do is just go back and practice remaking them. So this is the same as this, it's just with a different book page, and actually it's a much better example of that, as is this one. See, my first two, in fact, I could use them as a good example and bad example, but my folding wasn't even, so my layers aren't even, whereas here I took the pains to do it correctly. And you can tell it's a better pocket, plus I stitched it, so. Good examples and bad examples. Okay, so these are all pockets. This is a belly band idea. This is another, I like these pockets. I haven't made them for a long time, but it's like a long, skinny stick pocket. And as you see, I have tons of music pages. I have lots of things made out of music page. Another pocket. And another pocket. One thing I'm finding that I think would be better is not to have a single layer of paper for the pocket, but maybe to have a double layer, or just use thicker book pages. This one's doubled up. And of course I sewed it together, but again, you don't have to sew, just glue. You can draw messy lines around the edge if you want. This is a different kind of pocket. Let's see. Oh, I have my acetate in there so it wouldn't glue together. Fold a tube and seal one end. Cut a notch. And then what I need to do is make a tag to go in that. Different kind of pocket, portfolio pocket. See, just so many different ways to do all the same things. Like this one has a different closure, and this one is a different pocket altogether. And what else we got? See, these are envelope style. That. Okay. And then this one that tucks down into this, which is, uh-oh, I just ripped it. I like this one because it has its own closure with it. I have to put some washi tape there. But this is a thicker book page too, so it worked really well. This is embellishment, the banner tag embellishment. You can go up there. Oh, another paper sack. Why do I have two? This one was a gift and one came in that journal. So anyway, now I have two. Great. This is a belly band made from an envelope, and then it has another tuck right there. Okay, these are pages I saved from that journal. It came in this pouch. Again, I disassembled it and I used some of the pages in the journals I donated to the Ukraine Center. But I saved these pages because I liked some of the things that she did. So that has me thinking I would also like to do some pre-done journal page examples. And I'm wondering if I should do another kind of one or just add them to the back of this binder of the pre-done journal pages. Because pre-done journal pages you don't actually put into a 3-ring binder. They're ones that you sew into your signature. But this one, I like how she did this trifold, and her tags were very interesting. And Marcy just took it apart. So use a good glue. This one's just a journal card folded in half. It made a booklet. So I won this in a giveaway, and she couldn't remember who the maker was. If you're watching this video and you made this journal, first, I'm sorry I took it apart, but there's a lot to appreciate about it. And second, I wanted to include the ideas in my idea journal. So let me know who you are if you recognize this as your work. So this one was just a scrap inked. But I liked how this person took different pictures from magazines and books and things and made her pockets that way, and her journal cards. Like this is a big oversized journal card. So there's just something very, I like the simplicity of her style. It wasn't overly adorned like I tend to do, and yet it was pretty. It, you know, every page had something. Like that. She just took favorite images and things. So that needs its own section. And then I have the rest of this tub. Okay, so this is a pocket. And again, I think I really want to focus on its own Christmas ideas. And then I could always remake them as regular ideas too for the rest of the year. So this was the one I just did in that, I received in that swap I just did. If anyone knows what ephemera line this is, please tell me, because there are really cute pieces in here. There are some more things sticking in there that are not there right at the moment. I'll find them. So Christmas pocket. I went ahead and, as you know, I made these in the journals I just finished, and I made one for Pam's giveaway for her ephemera, so I made me a Christmas one. And then I made a regular one. So here's a regular one with the instructions. So that's also a pocket. Very large pocket. So I guess I could turn it into large pockets and little pockets, small pockets. I was going to use this in one of those journals, but I like it so much. I just ruffled up some wired ribbon and sewed down the middle. But now it just has this really interesting shape, and I just like the ribbon. So I'm going to just put it in my idea book instead. I'm going to fix my pile. I'm going to move these. I don't have very many belly bands, obviously, and clearly not very many tag ideas. Okay, this is another embellishment. I have always liked this one, and it was a thank you gift and something I ordered ages ago, but I don't know, just something about it. I always liked it. So actually that could go in Christmas. It looks Christmassy to me. These are ones I made, and I just liked my positioning. They're made from like Easter seals stationery, and I just like the positioning of how I arranged each one of these squares. So these are all clusters. These are like really detailed, fancy clusters. This one, glue to a page and make as a side tuck with tag. What is it? Oh, it's a little booklet. So it could be a tuck spot. So maybe I need a spot for, I mean, it's an embellishment, but also there's lots of ways to do tuck spots. So maybe I need a heading for just tuck spots, because almost anything small can be made into a tuck spot. But I'm gonna tuck spots. I hope I'm in frame. I really can't tell, but I'm making a big mess over here. Take these two out for the moment. So that was, here we go. Here's what I'm doing. So that was ephemera. I'm just gonna make another one for tuck spots. So I hope you're finding this interesting, because here's the rest of that stuff that fell out of that pocket. Just talking through my thought process here and organizational process. I don't know, I enjoy watching other people when they do this, so hopefully you do too. Okay, so now we're getting quite a few things in the little Christmas stash. Okay, so this one was the gift from Pam. Thanks, Pam, again. It was surprise happy mail, Christmas mail. I shared it in one of my videos. This was, oh, that was from the swap. I just threw everything in here. This was a different tag. This was that really pretty vellum. I don't know where she got it from, but I liked it. This will go in my, this is the card from Pam, but it's gonna go in here. But this is a Christmas Happy Mail pocket. And then it also had this cute tag or bag of goodies in it. So she just added a little embellishment there, but it was all in here. So that's all gonna get put in there together, which looks like maybe when I do my Christmas one, it might need to have bigger pages. See? Because here's the binder. That's not gonna, so I might need to find another, like a bigger binder, which I probably have in my closet. I just gave my daughter one of the older Betty Crocker style cookbooks, because I have mine that I got when we got married, but this one was like the edition before that, and she was wanting some of the recipes that are in mine, so I was like, here, take this, because it's got all those things you're asking for. So she was excited to have that. But now I'm down a binder, which a kitchen or a cookbook binder would, I think, be perfect. This was also from Pam, so I'm going to put this with tags, and I will write, oh, she wrote, thank you, Pam. So it's kind of wintry, but it's also kind of naturey and botanical, so I'm going to keep it as a general idea. This goes in that pocket also that was all stuffed. See, I knew all this stuff fell out of it. There we go. These were just little embellishments that were sent to me in the tag swap by the other tag partner. So these are not, I mean, this might be fun to keep as an idea of a pocket, you know, a prefab pocket. And I liked her tag because it's embossed on the back. And then I think that's a napkin that she decoupaged, so that's a good example. This doesn't count. This, just blank. Another little tag. I think I'll just stick all these in my stash. Okay, so when we were doing the Ukrainian journals, and I'm going to start saying the donated journals. So that's probably a nicer way to refer to them. But when we were doing the journals for donation and I asked for you guys' submissions, these are the things that I copied from things that were submitted, the pockets and stuff. So this is a pocket. This is a pocket booklet. So I think I can put this with the other. It's also a tag, so I mean, it could really be anything. I'm going to put it with the other ephemera. And then here's the other booklet. Peggy Obert. Let's see, did I write in here? I should have written who inspired it, so maybe I did. Nope, I didn't. I'm going to have to go back and write down who inspired this one. I didn't mean to ignore that. This was Peggy, so that goes over there. And then this one, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and write down again who these were from, because I remembered at the time which ones were from whom, because there was Carol Johnson and Sandy Bond. So there's Kara's pocket. I'm glad I have one of these in here. I've been making these left, right, and center. They're fun. Okay, here's another one of these cool tags. Who inspired this one? Well, what a slacker. Okay, definitely, should you call it a tag or a pocket? It's more of a pocket than a tag. It just has this on there. I think that was, well, it was either Carol or Sandy. This was Kara. Okay, I made these with Christmas paper. Yay me. Yep, Sandy Bond. So she had a couple of different sizes that she did. So these are also pockets, but we're going to put them with the Christmas because I use Christmas paper. And then here's one with regular paper. Tag-shaped pockets. And then this one. I think somebody's at my house. I may have to go check. Okay, clearly I have lots of examples of these. What is this? I liked how it folded. I don't know why I have that in that basket. It doesn't belong there. This is something I saw someone make, and I made a similar. These are pockets. And of course, I didn't write that one down either, so I'm gonna have to go write that one down. And these we made when I was doing my masculine journals. I think these were Joey DeFee pocket. Now see, I've already forgotten who inspired a lot of these, so this is valuable to write that down. Yeah, Joey DeFee and Diane Shaw demoed that one. Here's more book page pockets. These were all demoed on Gail's channel, so that's where I got the inspiration from, and she got it from, I think most of these from Hermelinda Aguilar. And then here's some more of my mock-up bases. So I don't know if I'm supposed to make these or if these are examples. I think I meant to make these into stuff. Okay, so those are to make. This is another embellishment. See, these are more structured and formalized, and these were what I was trying to make at the beginning, but they're just too, I don't know, too fussy for me. See, that's a tuck spot. That's an embellishment. So those, I think, are supposed to be made into something, or I have a spot called Make More where I have examples of things I want to make. And then I have all of these instructions. So here's instructions on making the journal cover, pre-made journal covers. So that needs its own section. So maybe a binder for pre-made journal pages and a spot for written instructions, because I have more instructions stashed around this craft room. Homemade smash book. I made one of those for my niece a few years ago. Don't know if it was ever used, appreciated, or whatever. I liked the idea. It's not too much work, but the thing is that I made it with a binding system, but you could use ring binders, the book rings, and still do the same thing. So I will keep those instructions. And then pocket. Oh, this is what is this? This was this was a list of things I wanted to make sure I added to those donated journals. So, or maybe this is what I want to put in this book. These are things of examples I want to put in this book. Okay. I think it was one, and then I added to it to make it for an idea book. And then from here on in, every journal should receive, oh yes, notes to myself. Because I was going through my stash and realizing I have a lot of certain things, and so I need to make sure I put those things in every journal I make, which I totally violated this on the last 3 journals I made. Postcard, greeting card, I had those. Game card or flash card, I don't remember if I had those. A fabric element, a flip belly band, I did have that. Some kind of belly band, had that. Sack, had that. Decorated envelope, had those. Good. Yay me. And then these are from things I've observed. So I was trying to write down really fast, like a recipe for how to make certain embellishments. Basically using punches that I already have from earlier scrapbooking days, but the larger punches and how I could decorate them. Mostly observed on other channels that were using similar embellishments. So I thought, oh, what could I make? So, I made this one on camera. Did I? Oh, I did. I made those last year. Oh, I better have an example of that then. Okay. I know what that is. And I didn't put one in here. Okay, well, that is very useful for me. So we're going to have to work on doing make mores. Sorry, I'm dropping things on the floor, trying to pick them up while I talk. So I'm going to have to, before the next video, organize these a little bit better and put all the stuff in here. And then we can start working on examples of some of these other things and then figure out what I'm going to do with the Christmas stuff. And then I also have these that I was just working on. This is supposed to have twine that holds it shut. So this is also going to go in one of these examples. It's a journal card fold out. And I want to make a couple different examples because you can glue it to the page, or like this one that has stuff on both sides would be clipped. So I want to have two different examples. And as you can see already from this very small pile, that there are dozens of examples that you can make. And I mean, this is nothing compared to all of the ideas out there. All of the ideas I still need to make. So this is journal card. See, I don't even have any other journal cards. So I need to work on that. All right, okay, that's probably as boring as toast. I'm sorry, I hope it wasn't. But just giving myself some ways. See, like this is a snippet off of the scrapbook paper that I used for that, but it makes a really cute journal card. Anyway, so there are lots of ways to do this and just trying to figure out how to organize it. Yeah, and hopefully there'll be something a little more exciting to look at, and then we'll just start working on filling this up, and then we'll be able to hopefully make more journals in the future. And then if I want, all of these scraps, these were what was cut off, I think, from making those pages. These could be turned into some of these ideas. Haha, okay. All right, guys, I feel like I was a little bit all over the place with this video, but it's several topics happening all at once. Let's get ready and we will do our inspirational thought for the day. Today, I wanted to read this prayer from Peter Marshall. If you've ever read the book A Man Called Peter by Catherine Marshall, or read any of Peter Marshall's writings, he was a minister mid-century, like 40s, 50s. I'm trying to remember all of the specifics, but he eventually ended up being the chaplain for the Senate, and that's how he began to be more well-known. But if you read the book called A Man Called Peter by his wife, Catherine Marshall, she's a prolific Christian authoress, and even to this day, a lot of her writings are relevant. She just has a lot of good insights. They're timeless, is what I'm trying to say. So this was a prayer. He would have to pre-write his prayers for the Senate, and he really struggled with that because he felt that when you pray, you should be in the moment, you know, talking to God from your heart in that moment, and that your prayers would be more sincere that way. But the Senate wanted, or whoever was overseeing him, his boss, they had to be approved. So he struggled with writing those prayers, pre-writing prayers for certain things. But boy, if you can read, if you ever have the chance to read any of his writings and to read that book, I urge you to do so, because he was just a beautiful soul and he died way too young, unexpectedly. But we have his words and his writings to fall back on. So this is one of his prayers from his book, A Christmas Grace. I would love to find that book. Anyway, but this is a prayer for Christmas, and so we're going to close with it. We thank thee, O God, for the return of the wondrous spell of this Christmas season that brings its own sweet joy into our jaded and troubled hearts. Forbid it, Lord, that we should celebrate without understanding what we celebrate, or like our counterparts so long ago, fail to see the star or to hear the song of glorious promise. Peter Marshall from The Prayer, A Christmas Grace. All right, guys, I'm going to close with that since it's Friday and tomorrow will be Christmas Eve and the day before Christmas, and then Sunday, Christmas Day. So I'm wishing you all a blessed and a happy Christmas. Just focus on what's true and what's important, and let all the rest fall away. 24 hours after Christmas is done, most of it doesn't matter anymore. The gift wrapping, the rushing around, the food that you had to take to XYZ party, what have you. Just focus on being with the people that you love and who love you, and on taking a moment for yourself, for peace, so that we don't miss what we're celebrating and we appreciate, we see the joy, we see the promise, and we appreciate what was sent to us. Okay, guys, that's enough preaching for today. I hope that you will be inspired, do something creative today, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye now.